It's Mike Nesteroff here with Boundary Voyage in Indianapolis, here to target some big red-eye smallmouth bass with my friend Walt. Walt, what are we doing today?
So today, like you said, we're targeting some smallmouth bass, namely with this little guy right here. We're going to show you how to set up and rig up this tube, what colors work well, and the presentations that you need to get in front of those smallies.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to getting out the water, so let's go. All right, Walt, what do we got here?
All right, so I'm going to have to show you how to rig up a tube using one of these eyelet sinkers. These are pretty cheap relative to some of the other options out there. As well, you can position it in different positions of the tube. You can either put something like a spacer, like a piece of a earplug, etc., to put that weight back. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting it in the front. So ultimately, you're going to have a setup or a stack up that's going to look something like this. So let's go ahead and start that process.
So can you show me that one more time? Like what? Like what? So this hook is going to go through that eyelet of that sinker.
That's right. So inside of it, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be suspending
Uh-huh.
that eyelet sinker right like that. So the sinker is actually positioned on this hook of the hook of the hook right here, this kink in it. And so that's going to be in line inside the tube right like that. And what this allows us to do is it gives our tube a little bit more glide. There's other weights that you can get. You can actually put more weights up towards the front of the tube to give it more of a downward trajectory. But again, we're going to be putting this in the middle because we're going to be throwing these into the current, and we're going to be wanting it to kind of glide down and sink. So we're going to be putting this setup right here inside the tube.
Perfect. All right, let's get after it.
All right, so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your hook out right like that, and it's real easy. You're going to take your eyelet right here, and you're going to place it up into the tube. So you're going to stick this right up the keister of this tube, and you're going to thread it up there. And so this one's got a lot of plastic up top, so I'm going to actually just kind of pop it through where I can feel that eyelet there. Next thing I'm going to do, and this is a little bit tricky, but you'll get the hang of it. Once you understand where that's at, you're going to actually put your hook through it. You're going to come down the side of the tube and just out. You guys will be familiar with this setup right here.
And right there, that is just right through the eyelet of that sinker.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that through. And now I've got that eyelet right there like we showed earlier, okay?
Yep.
And this hook might be just a little bit small for this. I'd probably go with the 2/0 for this. This is still a 1/0. And then after that, you're going to want to put your hook through. I'm doing it a little bit earlier because it's a little bit smaller, but still effective. I'm going to pop that hook right out the other side, just like that.
Oh, very nice.
So you can see. And then to make it weedless, you're just going to just dig the tip in right like that. So that's a good tube setup. What you're going to have some coverage here. You want to check that every 10 15 minutes if you're not getting a ton of fish where you're rehooking this.
Yeah, that looks like a nice weedless, snagless presentation, but I'll tell you what, I'll find a way to snag it.
We'll put that to the challenge. If that's the case, then I'm going to take your hook. I'm going to bury it a little bit deeper because I know you are. And so to do that, you can put it in there. Now, one of the interesting things you can see is I kind of have a curve in the tube. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
You don't want that, okay? Typically, so when you see that curve in the tube, you know that you've got it hooked a little bit wrong. So again, you want this thing as straight as possible. Straight is the name of the game, at least from what I found. And so I'm going to re-rig that, give it a little bit different, and now you can see that's a little bit straightened out.
Oh, that looks great.
So this is the one that we're going to give you. Let's see if you can get it hooked up, or snagged up, or snagged in a smallie. Let's say that.
We'll do that. We'll try that.
So talking tube color, some of the things that I really like to focus on is your watermelons, which are great year-round. Also, we got some lighter green, some fleckled, some specks in that, and also try some of this white speckled. Solid white or this white speckled tube has been very helpful, but sometimes if it feels like fishing slow and you're throwing into some deep pools, try switching up the color. Sometimes that helps dramatically.